Hello, everyone. So happy to be here with you today. I've got a question for you that could radically shift how you live, love, and lead. Who is in charge of your life? Your ego or your spirit? Because the quality of life, of your life, will be dependent on who you allow to sit in your driver's seat. If you have ever felt stuck in your head, second guessing your values, lashing out, shut down, or craved for approval, you are not broken. You're just letting ego call the shots. And that ends today. The ego seeks to divide and to separate. The spirit seeks to unify and heal. Think about a recent decision, big or small. Was it driven by fear? Or was it led by faith? In other words, was it ego or was it soul? So to understand that, I want you to differentiate between ego and spirit. Let's be real. Your ego isn't evil. It's just scared. It's that voice in your head that says, what if I'm not enough? I need to prove myself. They better respect me. I need to win. But your spirit, it's not here to compete. It's here to create. The ego is very loud. It's reactive. It's defensive. It chases validation, chases control, perfection. It keeps you busy, but yet you're not fulfilled. The spirit is quiet, but it's very powerful. It looks for alignment, for peace, for truth. It drives you with vision, with love, with unshakable certainty. So picture this. You are driving your life. Ego is grabbing the wheel, yelling direction, and running on fumes. Spirit, on the other hand, is sitting in the back like a wise coach, waiting for you to say, all right, your turn, lead me. The moment you surrender control, you actually take back the power. And that's the paradox. Ego says, once everything falls into place, I'll feel peace. Spirit says, find peace and everything will fall into place. So to understand the two different modes, I want you to spot the differences. The ego mode says, I must be right. What would the spirit mode say instead? I seek to understand. I don't necessarily want to be right, but I want to understand why that other fact might be correct. Ego mode will say, I feel triggered. Spirit mode will choose to pause. Take a minute. When you're triggered, take a moment to yourself. Pause and rethink. Ego mode needs to control. Spirit surrenders to the flow. Ego constantly competes and compares. Spirit, on the other hand, wants to collaborate, wants to create. When you're in the ego mode, you judge and you blame. It's never your fault. It's always somebody else. Spirit chooses compassion. Where is ego running wild in your life right now? Is it in the business? Is it in your relationship? Is it in your self-talk? The truth is, if you don't learn to manage ego, it will end up managing you. So let's walk through the 3 steps that can shift you from ego to spirit. The first one I already mentioned. The first one is really to pause and notice. Just pause, whatever situation it is. You know, I gave that example to one friend of mine. When your book is right in front of you, you can't see the letters. When you move it a little bit further, you can clearly see the page and read it. So when you are in that situation, whatever that situation might be, before your ego bursts, pause and take yourself outside of the equation. Ask yourself, is this fear that's talking to me, or is it love? Your body always knows. If you get tight chest, if you have clenched your jaw, if your breath becomes shallow, that's ego in action. So pause for a second. Identify. Is that an ego? Then you're going to breathe and surrender. Breath work is incredible. The amount of things that you can do while doing your breath work is unbelievable. Use the breath to create space. The moment between trigger and reaction is where power lives. I talked about breathing many times before. When you do deep breaths, holding your breath and then breathing out, it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which actually calms you down. So do that breath, and there's so many different ways and methods of doing breath work. The 4-7-8 is my personal favorite. You inhale 4, you hold your breath for 7, and you exhale for 8, very slowly counting in your head. It really does work. And I want you to think about a mantra as you do that. It could be anything that you want, or just say, I release the need to control. I trust higher guidance. Just ask for that help. Release that anger, resentment, whatever that very powerful ego emotion might be. And then step number 3, ask the higher question. Ask the higher self. We all have the unconscious mind. We all have the higher self. We all have the divine, whatever you might be believing. But ask yourself, what would you do right now? What would you want me to do right now? Spirit doesn't panic. Spirit doesn't rush. Spirit knows. Ask it and you will get that feeling of what you should really do. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. So I want you to start practicing this, and start it today. Let go of the need to impress. Focus on expressing yourself. Don't respond when you are triggered. Respond only when you feel aligned. Choose peace over proving. You can't prove anything to anyone. Curiosity is more important than judgment. Understand instead of proving things. And every day, ask yourself, am I being driven or am I being inspired? Try this for 1 week. Every time you feel this resistance, pause. Take 3 deep breaths and ask, what does my higher self wants me to know right now? You will be shocked how fast your life will start shifting. This week, I challenge you, don't just live by default. live by divine design. One decision, one breath, one shift at a time. And that's how you will rise. I do recommend a few readings that actually kind of helped me think about this topic for today. A New Earth, that's a great book, and Return to Love. That's an incredible book as well that just guides on how to work with your soul. You don't have to silence your ego. You really don't. The ego is there. You just need to stop giving it the microphone. You were never meant to hustle through life with fear at the will. You were meant to lead with grace. You were meant to move with purpose. And you were meant to love without limits. Let the Spirit lead. Because when it does, your life will finally feel like it is yours. I hope that helps for you to hear today. Please share it with someone else. Write in your comments. Love hearing what you guys have to say about it. And I'll see you again in a couple of days with more insightful information. Thank you for joining me today. Have a great day.